Sir James, I spoke to the leader of the opposition, who told me that you were invited to the convention, this one, and the one last year, or the last one that they had. And on both occasions, you did not attend. Why have you made such a decision not to attend the conventions?
I received an invitation from Alan Cruikshank, who styles himself now as the Honorable Alan Cruikshank. He was a former minister. I have not heard from Eustace, and he has not been communicating with me now since the last election. I am deeply concerned about the condition of the country and the misery in St. Vincent, and I am worried about the party's ability to be able to relieve this misery in the land. I am no hypocrite, and I have no time for hypocrites, so until I am satisfied that my presence is genuinely appreciated, I will keep my silence.
You listened to the activities at the convention, the speeches. What are your thoughts on, say, the two main speeches, that of the leader of the opposition, Honorable Anna Eustace, and that of the feature speaker, Lucette King? What are your thoughts in terms of the general direction and thinking of the party?
Well, I heard them both, not all the time, but I made it my business to hear. I heard Eustace inside his comfort zone talking about 4 points with regard to the economy. But I was absolutely alarmed that throughout the convention there are two single words I didn't hear. And those words are airport and airline. The building of this Hargai airport is a major issue in St. Vincent with regard to taxation and with regard to the future of St. Vincent. And the problems with Liat and the collapse of our tourism, the recession in our tourism is related to Liat. We don't even have the Caribbean people traveling in the summer. They can't afford to travel. We don't have the families traveling anymore, bringing their children. We don't have the scouts and the guides and the church groups and so on traveling. I was alarmed that there was absolutely no reference to airport. It's as though the party, and not a single speaker touched on the subject, it's as though the party is scared of the issue of airport and airlines. I was worried about that in particular. As to the other speaker, I'm glad that the party was able to find another speaker. No respect to disrespect. I will never want to disrespect a lady. I'm delighted that we had a lady to address us. But I don't really think that she advanced the cause of the party very much. She was marketing herself very well. And when I heard her announce and pull out, apparently, her party card of the ULP, and boasted that she's a card-carrying member of the ULP. It's a good thing I wasn't at the convention, because I would have immediately got up and asked her to tear up that ULP card and let me see that you're no hypocrite and you're here with us.
Sir James, are you actively involved in politics still? The reason why I'm asking you that question is that your party may see you as being happily retired and, treating you as such. I get the impression that you feel as if you are being slighted, and there is some gap or tension between you and the current leadership of the party. I'm going to ask you the question about your retirement, but I'll also ask you in the same breath, do you feel that you're hoisting yourself on them, and because they're not taking you on, there is some bitterness?
Well, There is no bitterness on my part. I still love my party, and I am delighted that the base of the party is still there. What worries me is that the party does not seem to have a strategy to deal with swing voters. When you assess the political situation in St. Vincent from 1998 on and the elections in 2001, 2005, you will see quite clearly that the two political parties pretty well control 44 to 46% of the vote. The ULP reached its, the LP reached its peak in the convention when we got some 56% of the vote.
In the election?
But we got 56% of the vote in the referendum.
Yes.
Whereas ULP went with choice at that time. But after the referendum, we shrunk back under 50%. And the party needs to have a strategy for all hands on deck, to pull everybody back together and inspire people and attract new people. That is of fundamental importance. I have said that Mr. Yusha should step aside because, again, in my view, a leader that continues to have an image of losing, a loser does not attract swing votes. And the mixture as before in the party is not going to give us the results that we want. I wish the party all the very best, but I do not see that we are trying to attract a broad section of intention and bringing the kind of dynamic leadership that we really require.
And to my first question, sir, are you still actively involved in politics in any way? And do you feel that you have a contribution to make as such, and you are you're not being allowed to do so in the party that you were the founder of?
Sometimes I have the feeling that they are not the executive of the party or the powers that be in the party are not interested in the history and the genesis of the party. I am available where I am wanted. I was invited by the Prime Minister of Grenada now to come down there and assist him in his election. I have been consulted, and I'm still consulted by the opposition in St. Lucia. And my brain is still alive. Let me put it this way, Tony. My body might have retired, but my brain hasn't. And whatever talent I have is available to St. Vincent, and I will make my talent available. I am not interested in putting anybody out of a job or taking away their work. I am interested in making sure that our beautiful country is well looked after. I am deeply worried about things as they're going along now.
Sir James, my final question. The convention went ahead and the position of party leader was up for grabs. Nobody challenged Mr. Eustace. Isn't that an indication that the general caucus of the party is happy with his leadership, and therefore he takes that as a guide as to whether he should step down or not?
I would advise that the party does some polls and find out where we are with public opinion and our chances of moving forward. It will be a disaster if next time round Mr. Eustace loses his seat. We had a real struggle last time to make sure that he kept his seat.
So James, thank you very much, and we'll chat again some more, no doubt, on the topic of politics. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.